One of the most expensive mistakes you can make is saying yes when you should have said no.
I put myself in a position to say, no, I cannot do this.
Because not every opportunity is a good opportunity for you.
If I proceed with this thing, I'll waste your time and I'll waste your money and I'll be crucifying my reputation.
Sometimes protecting your reputation means walking away.
You can go to somebody else, maybe they have a way, their design might cost less. But for this design, this is what you're going to work.
Welcome to Interior Design and Money. Hi guys, welcome back to Interior Design and Money, the show where we talk honestly about interior design and the money behind the work. Today, I have Albert, who was here on season 1 of Classroom versus Experience. Yeah?
Yes.
So thank you so much for honoring the invite.
Thank you for another invite. I love being here.
Thank you so much. So for anyone who didn't watch, please introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Albert Makambi. I'm an interior designer for a couple of years and I'm hoping to have a productive moment with her. Thank you.
Are you feeling anxious?
No.
Are you scared?
Nah.
Because a couple of people when I reach out, they're like, hey, about money, hey, you're sensitive, hey.
Going back to what I've told you a few minutes ago, I think when you get into business, you need to lose shame. There's a lot of things that you're going to go through in this journey, and if shame is part of who you are, man, you're not going to succeed. You're going to walk on eggshells in so many things. So you need to just be bold. Yeah, little bold. Yeah, you just need to be bold. You need to approach. You need to learn how to approach people, learn how to approach situations, learn to be at the forefront of everything. So I can say yes to some people. It is a bit touchy of a subject, but we need to speak up for ourselves. We need to speak out. We need to show other people how things are done, what we've gone through. And that's why I love season 1, getting to learn about other people's experiences. People go through a lot. Man, you never know what somebody has gone through. You just see them. You just see the final product, but people have gone through a lot. So I was very, very inspired. I was very, let me say, I was very eager to participate in this episode. And so let's see how it goes.
Do you remember when you made your first million?
I have not made my first million.
Okay.
But I've done a pretty good 6-figure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm heading to the million.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you remember what your first paid design project was?
It was a residential. I remember very well. I think it was the first job was a residential in Parklands. Let me not say the apartment, but it was in Parklands. It was a newly bought apartment. We were doing
one unit.
Just one unit. But it wasn't like a complete Maka kitchen and everything. The kitchen was already fitted. The only thing he had to buy were the equipments and everything. But he wanted to spice up his living room and his bedroom and dining area. He was a soon to be married, but right now I think he's already married. I didn't follow up after that. So he was a newly soon to be married, and he had good money and it paid well. It paid very well. It was a very inspirational project.
So how much was it?
It was the total project.
Worth.
The total project, design and build, was 700K.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was living room. You said they wanted to do the living room to spice up the living room.
Yeah, living room. So it was ceiling, wall unit, and he had a very big TV. You know? Yeah.
Okay, all bachelors have a big TV.
Actually, I convinced him to reduce the size because he wanted to go for a 120.
Wow.
You know, just take 100. Yeah, but living
because of the space, it makes sense.
It makes sense because it was an open area divided into the dining area and then now living room. Now, if you split part of it into maybe half, you find the ratio from where you're sitting to the TV. Doesn't make sense to have 120 inch. But yeah, I mean, he liked it.
And that's something important for people to know. You just don't choose a TV because it looks nice and it will look whatever. There's calculations and there's math behind it. So high-end interior designer.
Funny story. Reminds me back in campus. We were living in a hostel and then there was the next door neighbor. There was a Luo. Sisema kitu zaidi hapo, but these guys had 100-inch bana.
In the hostel.
Hostel
for context, anyone who's not going to Campo. Hostel inatoshana hapa from here up to there. So no, because it just fits a bed.
No, actually, ilikuwa ina fit bed.
Eh.
So it's like this partition bed and this is the length. Now they had put a TV on this wall. Can you imagine? So the TV is so close to your face you can't even look at the whole thing at the same time.
You have to look like this and move. You move with the movement.
You move with the movement. But they put it there specifically for PS. Bachelors, my guy. Yeah.
Wow.
But that was the story of my first job. So it was a ceiling design, a wall unit, and then the bedroom design. Yeah.
Do you remember, for context, how much you took away as you leave alone to buy material? Because this was design and build.
Yes.
You may not remember the figure, maybe the percent.
My target is usually 30 to 35%.
Okay.
Since then, ever since I started quoting for my own jobs, my figure is always, because there's always going to be some unexpected expenses. So I usually cushion myself with 5% on top. So I think I went a little bit overboard, but I took home 26. I remember 25% up. It's not a bad, it was a pretty good day, especially for somebody starting up.
How long did you take that project?
It took about 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. So project worth 750k give or take for 2.5 weeks. Na ulimalizana kuna kurudi sijui nini.
No.
That was plus design, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sawa. For context, so do the math on the back side of the camera. Haya. Do you remember when was the first time, or first of all, have you ever turned down work?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you ever turned down work and what the reason was?
There's a backstory to it, which involves a mistake I made on a previous project.
Okay.
But the issue of turning down work was because this client kept on trying to push down the cost. And I've been a victim, me being the perpetrator of underquoting for a project. Get. There is nothing as worse as kazi ijaisha, but
na
pesa
una
imeisha,
pesa.
na una do. Na uliambia client hiyo itatosha. You get. Umefika site, umeanza kazi vizuri, but umefika mahali umerealize, we underquoted. You get. So yes, I've had to turn down a couple of jobs. One,
that is, you're turning down mid-project or at the beginning?
No, at the beginning.
Okay.
At the beginning. You see, after some time, you you develop an analytical aspect of your thinking. Utangalia job on a job itaenda vibaya. Based on how the client behaves, their attitude, their mood when it comes to money. Utajua tu hapa hivi.
So for this first one that you turned down, ebu nipe specifics. Ilikuwa attitude, ilikuwa mood, ama ilikuwa nini?
Ilikuwa attitude yake na do. So this is what happened. I always quote according to how I'm going to compensate myself and how the project is going to cost. Get. So nikipatia client quotation and then he keeps on pushing, anataka 15% what do you call it?
Discount.
Yeah. 15% discount, bana. What am I going to take home?
Nothing. Yes. More or less utabaki na work for free. Juja overquote anyway.
Sija overquote.
You only put the 5% buffer, which everyone needs.
One, because
everyone needs.
Everyone needs. But hapo nilikuwa nimeka 3%. I remember very well. Get.
So tayari uko chini.
So it was a very tight, very tight project. Nikajiambia, if I get 20%, I'll be okay. Wacha tu nimalizane na job niende job ingine, because you see you're new and you're not in a position to choose. But at that point, I put myself in a position to say, no, I cannot do this. Because if I proceed with this thing, I'll waste your time and I'll waste your money and I'll be crucifying my reputation. You get? So nikamwambia niaje, this is my figure, this is what I will work with. You can go to somebody else, you can get a bigger quotation. You can go to somebody else, maybe they have a way, their design might cost less. But for this design, this is what you're going to work. Let me know what you think. And the guy ghosted. So nikasema, you know what? That was it.
Ni sawa tu.
Yeah, ni sawa tu.
Yeah, you don't have to take everything. And guys, you don't have to take everything. You know?
Yeah.
Haya.
So I think down the line kuna hiyo swali, but let me give you a story of how I underquoted a job. Job number 1 imekuja imeisha poa. Job number 2 was a commercial space in Rongai. Now here I am, nimepata job ingine poa sana. But it's been a pretty long time span between the first and the second job that I'm afraid nikikosa hii job, I don't know how long it is going to be until I get another job. So mimi, what do I do? In my desperation and fear, I underquote.
Ndo upate tu.
Ndo nipate tu. Get. So I underquoted for the job. And then another thing I think people need to learn, when you're starting out, make your designs as simple and as practical as possible. Don't go experimenting with things on Pinterest. Tafadhali. I did that, I messed up. So if you're going to start out, make it I think it's more important to be functional and easy to work with, can I say that, than to do something magnificent vitu tu umeona, and then you're going to apply that, and then you're trying to experiment with people's money and people's time. My mistake. So I came up with a very complex design. It was a pharmacy. And then I underquoted. 2 mistakes at the same time. So mi nimeenda site. Nimeanza job vizuri. The first time nili realize nimeunderquote ni wakati what do you call these guys, electrician. Likuja site akapiga material ni nini. Kaangalia hivi material na nikaangalia hivi kenye nilikuwa nimequote, nikarealize hapa kuna shida. That was the first time nili realize hapa kuna shida. Down the line after 1 week ndo vitu zikaanza kuumana. So here I am trying to push the project, because one thing I didn't know, I came to know through that project, is that pharmacies have they have this regulatory body that if you start a pharmacy, they have to come and inspect and make sure that it meets a certain criteria. So if you're going to have an office, if you're going to be vending medicine, there are certain checks and balances they have to put in place. So for you to for them to come and inspect your space, you need to have completed the space. You get. So apart from kuwa na pressure ya client, nilikuwa na pressure ya wase. Because for you to book them, you have to go pay.
You yourself, you're paying?
The client has to go pay. So see when you client,
and they can't pay before you finish.
So amebook, tuseme nimemwambia hii kazi itaisha the first week of next month, si ndio? Na amebook, amelipa. So wanakuja na sijamaliza. You get. So again nawambia sasa give me another week. Tena anaenda nalipa ingine. You get.
Huyu alikuwa mzuri kwanza hata kukulipisha.
You guy. So it became very, very hectic. But the saving grace for me, I think, was I got another job na ikalipa. So I had to take money from that job kuja kumaliza hii. But by then, I think nilikuwa nimechoma picha. But I was able to complete it. Even though
so
it was
you
late.
are paying from this other project, you're paying for what? You're paying for your labor, your people, or you're paying for materials?
Paying just to finish this job.
What part?
Any part. Bora tu ikazi ishe.
So meaning umetoa kwa mfuko wako kulipia pia client.
Exactly.
Just because you underquoted na wezi rudi. Why couldn't you go back and ask? Okay, I know reputation wise, haikwangi fiti ukirudi kwa client, but the situations you can't, this one you couldn't have navigated.
Siko nataka. So I opted just to eat the loss, because money comes and goes. Money comes in, money will always come and go. So I had to go into my pocket, nichimbe mfuko yangu, nilipie kitu iishe, nitoke tu hapo. I just wanted to leave that place. But sikuwa nataka kuhepa job. As in, it's my mistake. I'm going to carry this thing to the very end. You get. So
wait, for context, did ilikuwa how long of a project?
It lasted, I think, a month.
Okay.
But that last week was the hardest I think I've gone through in my career. So nikamaliza, but we didn't finish in good terms. That's what
even despite kutoa pesa yako kwa mfuko.
Let me say, he was a very graceful person nonetheless. Tulimaliza tu, but you could feel there's a tension hapa hivi.
Because of what? Because of your kushinda ku extend.
Yes. No.
Was there any other reason, if you think, for context's sake?
No. For the fact that the extension, the constant extension, and the fact that nilimwambia tu eventually niaje yenyewe, I underquoted, and sikuwa nataka kurudia additional money.
What was his reaction? Or was it a her? It was a him?
It was a him. What was his reaction? I think he just vented, because nilimwambia via phone. He just vented nini, and then he hung up. And then kesho yake ndo nikapata the additional money. Nikaenda nikamaliza.
Alikuongezea nonetheless?
No. Nilitoka kwingine. Yeye hakuongeza kitu yote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
ilikuwa ile wejipange. No. So even after your venting nini, hakuna it's okay, but wacha ni how much tumalize? No. Ilikuwa wejipange?
No.
Uliniambia ni 2 bob. Ni 2 bob.
So sikuja tena kuniambia ni 3 bob. But I've never been in that situation. Since that time, I've never been in a situation where I have to go back to the client for money. So I don't know how that operates. I think the people who go through this the most are people who are involved in construction. Watu wa design mnakuanga tu
So,
Yeah.
you know, design, you can do design and then furnishing. So, for example, consultants, neza fanya, let's say design, unafanya the build, but now on the furnishing side, neza kwa mindo na msaidia kuprocure, for example, tuseme easy pillows.
Okay.
You get? Then we have to, let me give a practical example. So there's a client I was doing for this year, a very good client of mine, very understanding, very gracious actually. Now we had to do a custom seat, and I always am so sorry guys, but I'll just say it. I'm so anti viti za kutengenezwa. Even if you're what kind of craftsman, I'm like the headache that you go through is just not worth the hassle.
Yeah.
So I typically prefer to have them ready. And if I do have the custom ones, the ones I'm comfortable with are the ones when I'm in China, for example.
Okay.
Because that process is a bit different. Let me start with the China one. Because, for example, you give whatever you need, etc. They start making for you samples. Then you go and see. You get, you approve or disapprove. But unaona afu nyingine hakuna hiyo ni ile kuvurutana ni story.
Yeah.
Uko unaona it's more like you're dealing with a factory. It's like you will travel, book your flight, travel on this day, we'll pick you, we go see. It's okay, whatever you need to change, write it properly, we change. But unaona ingine it's like stories. There's nothing professional about it. It's like hapana unajua madam sasa nini. It's not like me just on the sofa. As in just tell me, okay, I have this problem, sikumaliza hivi na hivi ndo nitarekebisha. Things happen, you get. So I find it difficult this way because typically I'm not very gracious, me as a person. Like I don't like these stories. Like no,
especially
it's simple.
When you're dealing with somebody's money.
Just simple. I need 3 more days. Simple.
Yes.
Do you need to avoid my calls? Do you need to do what? Tell me, sijui nini imefanyika. You know, you don't need to tell me all those. You just tell me, by the way, ABCD happens, I need 10 more days. Will I kill you? It's not ready. It's not ready. You get?
Yeah.
So I usually avoid. So this particular one, we were like, let's try. I told him, by the way, sijui, but whatever. We went around, I think it was too crazy, expensive. By this sofa squeeze ni expensive. Kama una mita na Nairobi, unataka ready-made.
So you're talking
ready-made.
You're talking about like
a 9-seater plus maybe you know
can you name
an ottoman.
Maybe a sauce.
Let me name, for example, Furniture Palace. There's no place you'll get a 9-seater in Furniture Palace for less than a meter.
Okay.
You get, or thereabout. And the other thing they're doing currently, si wachome picha nasema tu kweli, just go and check. The other thing Furniture Palace is currently doing is they tell you, so for example, if you spend a meter, we'll give you 50% off, you see. So they're forcing you to must spend the meter. So you'll buy, for example, the sofa and something else, whatever, but I've still spent the meter.
Okay.
You get?
Yeah.
Kitu kama hiyo. So we look, the specific places that he was comfortable with, nizo ranges. You get? And I was like, hey, okay, I can check for you 1 or 2 places that make really good ones that you wouldn't really be able to tell zimetengenezwa custom. Sindio?
Yeah.
Maybe a third of the price or something. Hey, worst mistake of my life. I'd rather order from abroad mali nimezoea.
Yes.
You get? I'd rather order abroad nimejua system nimeielewa. Wacha nikwambie. Tumetengeza after some time. I'm like, okay, timelines, ni nini, as we are paying, in fact, they're telling us, do you want lipa pole method or do you want to pay all? The guy was like, by the way, mi sina haraka na hii kitu. Mi naitaka in like 4 months, ndio nitakuwa around kuweza kuichukua. Sasa hiyo hata ukinipea sina mali ya kuipeleka. Si ndio? Kitu kama hiyo.
Yeah.
I'm changing parts of the story kidogo so that I shield the client a little. Si ndio?
Okay.
So at the end of it all, he comes, time ya kuorder, wanakuja ananiambia, time na follow up, like, by the way, hii kitu imefika wapi? Unajua ceiling yangu ilianguka. Unaget? Like things I don't, whatever. Haya. Eventually when it came, so tumesumbana ceilings, I'm like, okay, it's okay, things can happen. How much time do you want? Unajua ni nini unatumia videos? Okay, I'm sorry. I empathize with you. Things can have happened, but just tell me, Abigail, I need 20 more days. I had a mishap. Allow me to do this, nijipange. Full stop. Like, you don't need to lie to me, by the way. And you don't need to give me stories, even if it's the truth. There are things that I'm like, okay, after all this is said and done, I'm sorry, but when do I get it? Because I still need to report back to the client and say, there was a mishap, but you'll get it next month. Full stop. So nikimuuliza, just give me a date. Unajua, I need to check with you. Story. Anyway, 2 months later, bado tunafanya kuvurugana, English pole, going off, what. This is a shop that has a proper showroom in Lavington, guys. I'm not talking about Ngong Road. Yeah? Lavington. Kufika kitu imekuja, sijui cushions hakuna, zingine ameniekea hazifanani, and then they're like, oh, by the way, read the fine print. The cushions are complimentary, so if you don't like them, you can leave them, or you can take anything else that's there. So in this circumstance, I told the client, there's no way, because he haikuwa kiti yake, alikuwa anunulia mama yake. You know, I told him, there's no way you're buying a sofa without cushions.
Yes,
Unaget? Ndio umeniekea hivi zile za kukalia ziko na mgongo, but unajua ile throw cushions, me I'm a designer. You get? Na kitu tumesell kwa hiyo client ni ikiwa na hizo vitu zote. So I told him, you know what? I know this is what we had agreed. This was our plan. I recommended this place because we had gone around an ABCD. But are you able to add me a small budget? To go, but uzuri unaona si ati mimi ndo nalipa direct. Si alikuwa nalipa supplier direct. So I'm like, are you okay with me going to look for you cushions that I usually get in such a place? Tumalizane hapa juu huyu hatutamalizana. Ako na story mingi. Akaniambia, by the way, mtavurugana sana. It's okay. How much do you just go? In fact, he told me, make the call. Don't even send me photos. Don't ask me anything. Choose, send me an invoice, I'll pay. Whether you want 20 cushions, you want 10, you want whatever design you want. You see? So I had to go back and I asked.
But as much as this, you are not the one dealing with the money.
I'm not the one dealing with the money.
It was somebody who had recommended.
Yes, it's someone I had recommended. You get?
Yeah.
So it's those sons of like, now, but you see, it's those sons of, I think sometimes you just have to be honest with your client. By the way, this is the situation, this is the status, I sent him even videos, okay, this is the circumstance. Angalia hii na hii hata amenipatia vitu zake. Na ananiambia, according to the contract, or other fine print, ameka tudogo hapo chini, that they are complementary. So, alafu amenichangia, si ndio tumeagree, colors. Amechange hata zifanani na kiti. You get? So I'm like, hii hata useme unapeleka wapi, haziingiani na hiyo kiti na nyumba yako.
That is a bad situation to be in, man.
Very bad, you know. So I still had to ask, and he was like, you know what, let's sort it out. It's fine. Make the call, send me an invoice, malizana hapo tusonge. You get?
I had the same situation, but this time it was a client wanted what do you call this? A console table. It was just one of those black granite top and a decorative footing. So alikuwa nataka the what do you call the console table and then artwork hapo juu. And sasa mimi nikaenda made me a big mistake. Nikaenda jiji nikaanza kutafuta console tables. So ukienda jiji unapata hii kitu inakaa poa sana. Una contact mse unamwambia ni aje, can I get this? Yeah, you can get this.
Watu wa jiji.
Boss. I don't have anything against shopping on Gigi, but trust me, if you are listening, usiwahi nunua kitu kabla hujalipia. Bibi after umelipia. Go see the thing na unaambia ni table sawa. Nimeona ni sawa ndo how much?
Sindo nasema watu wa jiji, most of them are also brokers. So they also don't have the product with them.
The guy was also a broker. Yes, fundi hata ambao. So I mean nimeona hiyo kitu, nimeona product, ndio. Una hii kitu inakaa fiti. Nimwambia how much for this? Yeah, it's this amount. Sawa, nalipa wapi? Nalipa hapa. Na nikalipa full amount and it was cheap. 21k for a console table is. So naambia ndaipata siku gani after 2 days. So nikamuuliza it's not ready. Ya hapana tutaifabricate lakini itatoka hivyo hivyo. Shock on me.
Haifanani.
Hiyo story hata sitaki sitaongelea. But it was just a similar bad experience. But I've noticed that so much. And I would like to ask, is it a culture among us? Like, guys who deliver do not deliver. Guys who are meant to deliver do not deliver.
Yeah.
Because your story of furniture especially, iwe kitanda, iwe sofa set, iwe nini, I've heard it from very many people.
You'd rather even China. You're not in the same country. You show them, you see samples. Sometimes you may not be able to travel, but send me a video, send me a those. I still feel like you need to see in person, but ile circumstance haijashinda sana. I wish you have someone on the other end akucheke, because then they work like a factory. Huku fundis work like ile. I can tell you anything bora I get out of the situation.
Yes.
You get?
But sasa venye tu mesema, I would rather you go to that high-end store. I don't know if I can mention names, Furniture Palace or Antak or Victoria, and get the final product. Ukina hiyo stress ya kusumbuana na fundi bana. It's such a headache.
Haya, let me ask. On pricing, what policy do you think you wish you had set from day one?
The ability to say no.
To what? Oh, about prices.
Yes.
Like, apana here it makes sense.
Here it makes sense.
Okay, this one at least
nimeisema. That would have saved me a lot of headache. The ability it's something I've had to learn along the way. But the ability to just say, hey, niaje hapa hivi I cannot. I can refer you to somebody who can. But later on, if you
have a better budget,
else, remember me.
Yeah. What is your go-to line to defend your rates? Unataka kudefend rates zako. So for example, huyo mwenye anasema hapana unipunguzie by 15%, mi nataka at let's say 350k na wewe umesema let's say 600k for example.
Truth be told, Mimi, I don't have any special pickup lines ama nini. Just go straight to the point. These are the best market rates for what I'm offering. And I know what I'm offering is good quality. I might not be the best, but I know I'm good. And so far, my track records, I can give you my contacts. Ask them about Albert. He will tell you, this guy, he does good job. He's dedicated on site until he delivers. That's all I can give. But any special pickup lines or nini, I don't. Kunanga.
Haya. Do you feel like you undervalue your skills? This one you mentioned, I think, because of imposter syndrome. This one, the other one you mentioned was not imposter syndrome. That one was like nataka tu kazi.
I think it was fear and desperation at the same time.
Yeah,
that one.
But it wasn't imposter. Have you ever undervalued?
Give me an example of imposter syndrome.
You feel like, for example, Abigael amekwambia nitengeze hii studio, sindio? And then you're like, but I can't charge like Stephanie because Stephanie need wakona the big guns. You get this, but mimi sizi piana prices ka hizo. Have you ever undervalued yourself?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, you just give your thing the way you know.
This is what I have. So okay, sitampatia details at this is my 5% cushion ama nini. But in the back of my mind,
unajua
hapa hivi I'm looking at 30%. Your 5% ni cushion just in case when the pale hivyo industry area upate vitu zilipanda bei overnight.
Yeah.
You get. So you have to consider those because I've come across such a situation. Like tulikotia paint job and it was a huge paint. It was like this floor 1, 2, 3 times. We quoted for the job paintworks peke yake. And then the client sat on the quotation. Akakuja after how many months? After about 3-4 months.
Oh.
And by that time...
Hauna hiyo quote ya hii iko valid for a certain period?
No.
So at that time...
Mi nilikuwa najua, akona agency kiasi. So atakuja next week.
No, when they came back, haukusema we need to revise.
We did that.
Oh.
We did that because I was actually I was partnering with somebody else with a former colleague from campus. So what happened was there was an amendment that was made that hiked up the prices of imports, including paint. So whatever we had quoted was null and void. Tukamwambia ni aje, since it was that time, now it's this time, we have to go back to the table and discuss afresh.
Oh.
So I started learning niaje, you need to put your foot down in certain situations.
Yeah.
Just don't do things to impress people because at the end of the day, in this journey you're on your own. Unaweza umia na utalia peke yako. Yeah.
Haya. Just on the same thing about clients. Have you ever been in a situation where you're legally chasing a client?
No, not yet.
Are you looking forward to it?
Well, I'm not saying, I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but najua itafika hapo siku moja.
Do you think you will?
One day I will.
Oh, really?
Yes, I know I will. Right now, my next, probably by the end of the year, maybe next year, I'm targeting the millions. I've done 6 figures. I'm happy with myself up to now, but I'm targeting bigger jobs. So I'm going to get there. So first, I've not been in a situation where I'm chasing clients for the final payment, or money, or this and that. But I know.
Do you think it's worth it, the legal chase?
Depends on a lot of things.
Like?
But if the industry is too small and you people know each other, people may start speaking. Sindio? I mean, somebody told me that once. Yeah, so if you're afraid of being labeled as a litigious person, then you have to go to weigh. Is it really worth it? Is chasing that final 5
You're afraid of being labeled?
No.
Yeah. On that one first. Know that you're not afraid of being labeled. Do you have something that's a telltale sign that client atakuwa ni red flag?
Let me say this. After interacting with people, specifically clients, for a couple of years, you learn to read some things, some cues, body language, facial expressions. Utajua tu huyu hapa kuna kitu. Ama this one is just, he has a roster of possible designers. You're just one of them. He's not dedicated to your work. He's not yet dedicated to your work. And probably he's sampling to see who is the best. But I can say the first telltale sign is when a client asks for multiple meetings. Amekuja meeting ya kwanza, amepatia proposal, kuita meeting ingine. Amekuita meeting ingine, that's not a serious person. At some point you need to start invoicing for those meetings because that's your time. Ukienda hapo ukae hapo 1 hour or 2 hours. Another how what is your rate per hour? Is it 5,000, 10,000? Yeah, start charging that person. Because within a month ukimpatia 5-6 hours of your time. It costs something. You would have dedicated that time to somebody else who would have paid. Get. So somebody who asks for multiple meetings, that's a red flag. Somebody who intensely negotiates for a discount, because personally how I quote for my jobs, I don't give myself that kind of markup like 40%. No, 30 to 35%. Kipata 30 niko sawa, nikipata hata 29 hata 20 I'll be very okay. Nikianza kushuka chini ya 20, that's when I know I'm messing
There's
up.
a problem.
There's a problem somewhere. You need to go to revise that, to review after your project imeisha. Go sit down, review everything. What went wrong? Is it the transactions that were too many? Ama ni supplier ndo alifanya makosa? Somebody overcharged you? You get. But that is the second sign. Somebody who over negotiates, ama who's over bargaining. That's another red flag. I think I have a couple of other red flags, but ndazikumbuka after when I don't need to remember them.
So actually you've said something that maybe I need to highlight to other guests or viewers watching. You need to account for your project after every project. You need to be able to see, is this project profitable for you or not? How much did you spend? How much man hour? How many meetings were you moving around? You get. And then you see, did I make money or not? Otherwise, unafanya kazi, and then the end of the year, like, hey, okay, what do we really have to show for this?
Exactly.
You get. And then sometimes juzi na overlap, unatumia pesa hii, project ingine kuran hii. And then you actually feel like you have money and you really don't have.
And I think what has helped me over the years is note everything down, including M-Pesa transactions, because kuna kuanga na transaction fee. And transaction fee 20 bob might seem small, but if you do 100 of those, zoni ngapi, that's 2,000 bob that you cannot account for. Get. So you need to note everything down, that at this time nilifanya here, this time nilifanya here, this time nilifanya here. If something does not have a receipt, andika petty cash, be a transaction fee. I mean, kama ni boda you took a bike instead of traffic, andika nilichukua boda, nikalipa this amount, this was a transaction fee. Nilifanya hivi, this was the transaction fee. Everything has to be accounted for. And at the end of the day, if you have an imbalance, because both sides have to balance, expenditure and money in and money out have to balance. So at the end of the day, if you see a huge margin within your balances and it's repeating on every project, know that there's something wrong you're not doing. Something that you're doing wrong.
Take that from Albert, please. Go back to this section. Repeat. Niendange pale kwa YouTube Analytics. Most replayed section needs to be here. Sawa? Haya, let me ask. What deposit do you require upfront for you, and what does it usually cover? What initial costs does it cover for you?
My deposit, my terms are usually, if the project is under 100K, just do 100% deposit. 50K, 70K, 80K, 99K, just do 100% deposit.
99?
Yeah.
If it's more?
If it's more, so anything from 101, I require I'll look at the initial expenses, between 60 to 70. I'll just evaluate nijue within this week you're going to. But anything like 120K, that's not something that's going to last more than a week. So if it's something that I can manage, I'll require maybe a 70% deposit. If it's something big, I'll require maybe 60%.
This is a design and build.
Design and build.
You do ever do consultancy only?
Yes, I have.
For consultancy, do you charge the same?
Yes, I
deposit,
do.
60%?
Yes.
Okay. So
in consultancy, the few that I've known, that I've encountered rather, was when the client had their own contractor. So they just want the design. Say, hey, do me a design for this space. Niko na fundi site tajenga. Like we did a residential in Migori. So I did the design, everything, quoted for just the design consulting, and then I sent. And he did a very good job. And
so for that you ask for 60%?
Yes.
They don't push back like, hey, 60% ni mingi sana?
No.
Okay. Haya. Following up on late payments, what's your structural strategy? How do you follow up for late payments?
Sumbua.
Emails. WhatsApp?
No, just text that person.
Okay.
Or just remind them. So usually, when the project ends and the client is happy, I send the final what do you call it? The final invoice, right? And here is how I structure my payment: 60% or 70% at the beginning of the project, right? Then you have 30 to 20% at 50% of the job. Then the final payment is probably 10% on the higher side, maybe 5%. So usually the ones I've worked with is 10% is what is remaining, right? So if the project is worth maybe 700K, like my first job, and the client has 75K remaining, that one you can push for the final payment. But so far, I think, have I had an issue with final payment? Two times. But so far things have been good because most of my clients, like I told you last time, have been referrals to people I've
done some work with
Yeah,
before.
so there are people who know people I know.
Hey, people who know people you know on
Yes.
that one. Do you have payment terms? Oh, anyway, this one you've mentioned that make it flow. So you've said like 60% to 70% and then
Yes.
30%,
Yes.
or 60, then 20, and then 5 mwisho, kitu kama hiyo.
The bigger the project, the smaller the initial payment. Like if it's a huge project, maybe 60% will work. If it's a small project, 70% will work. Yeah, you just have to assess what will be a good starting point. Is it 70? Is it 60? Yeah.
Haya. Now on to the rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
So what?
Rapid fire, kuna explanations.
Okay.
The answers tupu tu. Sawa.
Okay.
Haya. Are you ready?
Sawa.
Uko sawa?
Twende.
What was your biggest expense when starting your ID career, switching to freelance, or leaving a job to build your business?
Buying my first laptop.
Yeah. Do you remember how much?
It was about 65K.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, umetoka. For context, you started it just after you left school, or you were still in school?
No, that was when I started.
So you finished school? When you're hustling in school?
No, not in school.
After?
In school, I had a laptop.
Okay.
And then even after school, I had the same laptop.
Okay.
But now when I started my own practice, my own independent consulting and whatnot, is when I decided, I need to upgrade this thing because this thing is not working.
Okay.
And you also need to have a bit of presentation when you're going to meet a client. You get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is or was your biggest look professional expense?
Ooh, I think my wardrobe.
Okay.
I upgraded my wardrobe to a
Yeah.
good extent. To an extent that normally for a young man, you do not do this. You do not go this much of
Like what? Just briefly.
a couple of blazers, shirts,
Okay.
shoes and whatnot.
A normal young man anafanyanga nini?
We buy things when you need them.
Okay.
Not because we like them.
Yeah. Do you give discounts?
Ask anyone. Ask anyone. Ask any man. If you leave a man to his own devices, man can sleep on the floor and be very, very happy.
Do you give discounts to friends or family?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Yeah. Which platform drives the most leads for you?
In terms of social media and whatnot?
Any. Whether it's social media, website, what platform inakuleteanga clients? Wachana na referrals platform.
I think I was going to say that. So far, it's been word of mouth.
Okay, so you're not really relying on platforms.
That is going to be my next frontier, like investing more on maybe a website, investing more on social media, because I've tried that on my back end. Being a social media manager, it's very, very hectic. So I need a dedicated person for that.
Okay.
Because it's very hard being the manager, being the accountant, being the social media manager. You need to break away from some things, like the same way I broke off from doing 3D impressions. Like me nipate hapo nikirenda, never. So I just get somebody, even if it's a temporary person, do that. I'll go do something else. So I think that is something I need to look forward to in the next 1 or 2 years.
Do you think it's worth it?
Yes, I think it's worth it.
Okay. Because if you already get a lot of clients from referrals.
From referrals. I can say referrals have been my quote unquote my mother and my father when it comes to in this industry. So at some point you need to leave your mother's house, right? You need to go out there and see how the world looks like. So cold approaching will be my next target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hiya. What corporate perk do you miss the most? Ukiwa corporate, did you have perks first of all?
Like what? Like having leave days and whatnot.
Whatever you define perk is.
I think for me, perk was the comfort zone of unakuja Monday unapata kuna job.
Okay.
But haujui how this job was gotten. You don't know what this person went through just to secure that job. You don't know how many meetings how many times he was put off, how many times he was dismissed to get that job. But when you step into that zone is when you understand. You get to understand a lot of things. A lot of things that you take for granted, like getting into an office and you have Wi-Fi. Yeah.
That you don't need to pay for.
That you don't need to
and
pay
then you
for.
want to stream.
You want to stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did your first solo client come from?
Funny enough, it was Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How many months until you broke even?
The first 2 months.
You broke even?
Yeah.
Okay.
My funny thing, my initial capital was very little.
Okay.
So the only thing I needed was just this and to ensure the client paid.
Okay.
You get?
So you are just recovering the money for the laptop?
Yeah.
Is there any other expense you are recovering?
No.
Wow. So anyway, yeah. Meskia, his first initial expense was yap, mdomo.
Just be good.
Yeah. How many retainer clients do you have?
I can say 90%.
Oh, you do retainer clients like every month na kufanyia kitu tu, not kuvunja contract imeisha?
No. Most of my clients, okay, look at it this way and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of my clients have been returned. Like the one.
That's not it.
That's not it.
Retainer means I'm calling Albert, for example. We have this whole floor. We are the designers of it. But anytime we need any change or whatever, you're on standby. We pay you, let's say, how much can we say? 1 shilling every month for you to just be on standby. If you need any changes, you make the changes. If you need us to design this, you make we just move with you. But to Koshua, we don't need to start wandering around. Yes, you may have your original contract.
Yes.
Nini, but after that, it's like, okay, we'll keep you on retainer just to be. Standby is a harsh word to use, but you get it.
So let me look at it this way. I have a client who we work with. Okay, I am registered as a supplier in their system. But now we do the same project on an annual basis.
Okay.
So what they do is they convert their office space into a form of a gallery. They have a CSR that helps promote local artists.
Oh, nice.
You get? So I don't know if that serves as a
okay,
retainer.
it is. But that one, are you paid every month?
No, I'm paid
consistently.
I'm paid per project.
No, so then it's not a retainer client.
So that's not a
retainer. That is zero.
So maybe I need to go look at my list of clients. Join an indie retainer and an AC retainer.
Yeah. What is your biggest surprise tax hit?
First, I would say
biggest tax surprise hit.
Tax surprise hit. To know that most people, and when I say most people, I mean myself, most people don't know much about taxation. And I realized that when I started actually remitting my own taxes. Because when I was in employment, there was an accountant. So salo inafika imepigwa tax. But when you start now remitting your own tax and you start employing what do you call those? Accountants. Or a CPA. Na anaanza kuremit tax zako. Is when you realize this taxation needs to be in the curriculum. You get?
Jujui hata kunaendaje.
Ujui kunaendaje. Get? Aujui unasikia umepigwa fine aujui nini. But I've had to push myself into actually knowing on the very least just know what goes on during taxation.
Basics too.
Yeah, basics too. You don't have to be a CPA, you don't have to be certified or anything, but at least kwa na your knowledge. Yeah.
Last but not least, what is your longest payment delay from a client?
The same guy. I think it was a couple of months. It went for about 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still paid?
They still paid.
Okay.
So far, I don't think I've had a client who has not paid. Yeah.
Okay.
But just to cut them some slices, just to give them an excuse, they have not been what I would say big money.
Okay.
You get big money like final invoice ya 1M. Hiyo siku ndafika hapo ndo najua tutaanza kupelekana koti.
Kusumbukana.
Tutasumbuana tutapelekana koti. But tutaenda tu. You just roll with the punches. But so far reminders and basic emails have worked very well. Yeah.
Cool. Hiya. We are just wrapping up the show. What was your experience shooting this episode?
This was a very, very interesting experience. Let me just say, first of all, you guys have a very nice studio. Very, very nice. And it was a bit intimidating, you know, kulikuwa na kila mtu hapa and what not.
Watu wamejaa tu suddenly.
Like, ni aje, mnyi wote mnatakaje? Mwende. But it's been a very, very nice experience. And I think it's also a good approach because money is touchy, right? And it's something that most people need to learn more about. So if I could recommend anything, learn about, be very, very strict, be very frugal, especially with business money. Be very frugal with your expenditures. Be very keen when you're noting down your expenses during a project, whether you're doing construction or whether you're doing design alone. Be very keen when it comes to taxation, because hutaki kufika huko mbele and you want to bid for a project, maybe a government tender or anything. Talk of which, kuna kitu nakwambia. And then una realize you have umekuwa blacklisted for some odd reason huko 5-10 years back. Get. So talking of tenders, here are my do's and don'ts. I don't do tenders. I don't do.
I also wanted to ask you, you don't do tenders?
I don't do tenders. I don't do this pay after work. How do you call them?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hata mimi don't do those ones.
Exactly. And I also don't do competitions or contests. For the simple fact that I do not know anybody who has done a tender. Or
legitimately.
Legitimately, first of all. And if it's legitimate, they don't have a problem with the final payment. Because when it comes to tender, when you unasema, like for me, the final payment inakuwa 10%. Tenders inakwanga. So you deliver first and then you get paid after that. So tender is basically 100%. So imagine umefanya kazi.
I don't even know about tenders because I don't do tenders at all. It's a waste of time for me.
Here's how tenders work. You are called as different suppliers. So for example, right now we are doing designs. They invite you, they invite me, they invite her, they invite him. We all bid. They give us, this is the scope of work. You take the details, you give your rates, you give your final quotation. So una bid, you bid maybe 5 million, 6 million, 5.5, 7 million. So they're going to go with the cheapest, right? And then you're given an LPO, and then you give a timeline, and then these are going to be the deliverables. After that, what the process entails, as theoretically as it can be, the moment you've handed over the project, you're given a certificate and you're given the final payment. That's how things are supposed to be. But that's not how they are, especially in our country. So you have very, very many times, I know of people who keep chasing for final payments for years through different administrations. Nasikia Kibaki alipita, wasa kulipwa. Uhuru ndio amekuja amepita, kuna wengine hajalipo. So, and it's not just about government, even
just normal tenders.
Even normal tenders, corporates, they do the same thing.
Yeah, because I've been in places where we've been asked for tender and we didn't get. So me personally, not as Studio-littleBold, as being employed somewhere else, we didn't get. So I've really never followed the other things. And I remember at some point, maybe after 1 or 2, we also made a intentional decision not to move forward with tenders. Because also, you see, you have the discussions in the background. Oh, hii ni ya nani? So.
Yeah. Same thing with competitions. So there was this time. This is something.
Oh, wait. Si tender ya gava. Sorry. Miss Defanya tender ya gava. Ile tu normal competitions are what?
So there was this time I was walking along Gong Road. If you know, you know. And then there was this time my boss, there was a lady, she had been called for a job somewhere along Karibu Yaya Center. And then we got into the lift tukaingia kwa ofisi. And then what I noticed about her, she was looking around the space. Like she was admiring this. When I saw venye tumeingia hapa, you look at this place looks nice. We went sat down at the reception. Kutoka reception tukaingia kwa boardroom. We had a discussion with the guys. After about 20-30 minutes, I don't know I can't remember what they wanted to do. I think they wanted to do a little bit of maintenance in their space. Tukatoka, tukaingia kwa lift. And then she told me, these guys, the fit outs they've done was actually a competition that she had participated in. And that reception space was her design. So this is the backstory that she participated. She gave her concepts. Then they went silent.
And they used them.
You know, in a competition, because I've done a couple of government competitions, but not in interior design, in graphic design. What is supposed to happen? You're supposed to hand in your designs in this at this particular time. And then after they've selected the winner, they will inform all of you. Dear Abigail, after further whatever, so and so has won. You get. But if somebody was a truthful person, ningekwambia, since you have not won, we liked something about what you did with the reception space. Can we talk about that? That would have been an honest person. But for you to come later on, they even had the audacity to invite her in a space that they had not paid for. I'll be very careful not.
Yes, audacious person.
Yes.
And disrespectful. That's so much disrespect.
It's very disrespectful, actually. So, but I'm not sure if maybe the people who invited her
knew the backstory.
Yet. So she told me, design ni yangu. And we even went to the office. She even showed me the renditions. Kaniambia, this is what we submitted. It's copy-paste of exactly what she had given. That's why, personally, I do not have, and that's just one story that I've come across. Everyone I've spoken to who has done a tender, who has done delivery before payment, who has done a competition, they don't have anything positive to say about that. So I don't know if it's a culture amongst us or it's just
a culture of thieves.
Yeah. So you cannot, and okay, let me just put it as a side note. We cannot behave like that and then call out our leaders for the same thing, because the leaders come from among us, and how we behave is a reflection of how our leaders are going to behave. But that's away from design. But for me, I don't see myself going into competitions, going into tenders. Those I actually have just one. That client I was talking to you about. They have a policy for a 30-day payment period. So from the time you issue your invoice, 30 days after that, you're going to get your payment. And it is automatic 30 days. Not a day more, not a day less. But so far, for me, I can say those are the don'ts of dealing with money. I don't do tenders. I don't do deliveries. I don't do competitions. Be safe.
And we are going to wrap it up there. Whoever wants to go and do those competitions and tenders, God bless you, all the best. Sisi hapa wawili hatufanyangi and do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope you've learned something new. Go check out our notebooks. Go and write what you learned from this episode. Follow the prompt. Sindio? And see you on the next episode. Asante sana.